What's up?
Hey, so can we talk about the emails I found in your phone talking to the other woman?
How exactly did you find them?
You fell asleep and I went through your phone.
So, you invaded my privacy, and now you're making me out to be the bad guy.
I invaded your privacy?
Yes, invaded my privacy. Your trust issues are going to ruin us.
My trust issues? My trust issues. I caught you cheating. What you mean, my trust issues?
Why are you yelling now? Like, you're the one that's clearly in the wrong right here.
I'm just trying to understand how the hell I'm in the wrong when I was the one who caught you cheating on me.
By going through my phone. Like, what if I had a surprise in there for you? You would have ruined it. If you have proof that your narcissistic partner is cheating on you and you don't want to be with them anymore, you don't need to present it to them. You don't need a confession from them. And here's why. As a diagnosed narcissist, if I'm cheating on you and you catch me and you present evidence to me, in my mind, the fact that you gave me a chance to explain myself means that you don't want to leave me. Means to me that you want to work it out. So automatically my mind is going on that premise that you want to work it out. So no, I'm not going to confess. I'm going to beat around the bush. I'm going to ask you where you got this information from. I'm going to I'm going to deflect blame. I'm going to guilt trip you. I'm going to cry. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get you off of this target. Because the fact that you gave me the chance to defend myself means in my mind that you want to stay with me regardless. So why do I need to confess? Why? I'm going to deny, and then we're going to go to sleep and we'll wake up in the morning like nothing happened. Just leave because you don't need a confession.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing today? Listen, I'm gonna do a short video. This video is about if you're dealing with a narcissist, don't take them around your family and friends, okay? Don't do that. And the reason that you should never do that is because a narcissist recruits other supplies right inside your family, right amongst your friends. Yes, they do. And anybody that is, I'm almost willing to bet the comments on this video gonna be something else. People, you take a narcissist, anywhere you take them, first of all, you already know that when you go out with a narcissist, you guys might be hanging out and, you might just be going out to dinner or something like that. Well, you don't feel like you're really with them when you're at an engagement because the narc they have to do a litmus test on the room. They have to find out, okay, who's in here and is there any supply in here that I can grab while I'm in here? And that also applies to cookouts, family reunions, functions at a friend's house. All of that is fair game to a narcissist. And yes, a narcissist will have sex with your family members. They will have a sexual relationship with your friends or so-called friends. A narcissist is just really, they're just dirty that way. And the thing is, they do it because they want to be able to bring the maximum amount of pain to you when they're hurting you, when they're doing something to hurt you. They want to bring they want to make the maximum impact. And that's why a lot of times they're going to see somebody, don't get me wrong, they're going to have supply out there that, that you don't know about, because they're going to keep a secret as well. But the narcissist loves to entangle someone if they can get somebody in your family, they can basically break up a lot of, your family. They can bring confusion in your family that will break up family members for years, if not permanently. Friendships, they're all about it. They're going to pay some of your friends. They're going to pay at least one or two of your friends extra special attention. That's right. They're going to send those signals. When you're at tables, when you guys are out, You know, they're going to do little things. You might be sitting at a table together and they'll be rubbing the other person's leg or the other person's foot under the table. They're sending signals when you're with the narcissist people. We talking about dirty, backstabbing, no good people. And, you know, it's like, you don't really, a lot of times it's so painful. You don't even want to face stuff like that. You don't even want to believe something on that level is real nor possible. But when you do your homework, with a narc, almost all the time you find out, man, they were right there doing this right in my face, right under my nose. And a lot of times a narc will do that right under your nose. They do not have any shame. They will do it right in your face. You can walk up on your narc, catch them kissing, catch them hugging somebody, catch them doing something that both of you know they weren't supposed to be doing. And they will still try to make you seem like you're crazy. You're crazy. That's the first thing they're going to say to you. You're crazy. I am not thinking about this person like that. If we wanted to do that, then we would have did this and it wouldn't have been all out in front of everybody and blah, 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 blah. They're going to throw everything at you you've ever heard, every trick in the book. They're going to say anything they have to say to get you to go along with that weak story just because they got caught red-handed. They do not care that they have been caught red-handed. They do not care. All they're looking at is, hey, so what? They've already sent the signal to your friend or family member. They've made it clear, listen, I'm going to get with you. But right now, it's like when you catch them, they're really checking you. They're checking you to see what kind of impact that's making on you. See how crazy it's making you, that you're doing something, that they're doing something with your family member. You know, how far does that ravel you? These people do not have a conscience. It's all about bringing you pain. It's all about making you submit to them because of the turmoil that they keep you in. And they don't have a problem. They will, when they find a party that is ready to go and willing to go along with their craziness, and they don't care that it's in your family, you know, because a lot of times we got narcs in the family as well. You got friends that are narcs. So a lot of times, you know, they go right with the program. They recognize each other. They see how that low vibration that both of them are on, and they feel it. You can see the magnetism between them. You can go, and sometimes you can be in a situation where you are out and you might be amongst like family or friends, and you'll notice a weird energy with the narc you're dealing with and somebody in that party, whether it's your friends or family. You're just out hanging out, having a good time, and you just notice this weird energy, like the narc you're dealing with is giving somebody else that energy, that attraction energy. And even when you catch them looking at each other all the time, or, you know, trying to have an extra conversation with each other, they're going to deny everything. They're going to deny everything. And they're going to say, the first thing they're going to just say, you're crazy. You're crazy. Nobody's doing that. Nobody would do that. I would never do anything like that. And you're just crazy. You're obsessed. You're this, you're that. But you know what you were feeling. You know what you were feeling the entire time you were dealing with them. You know exactly what you felt. And again, a lot of times, because they go so far above and beyond, So you'll just say, okay, I'm gonna let that one go. And that's all the narc wants. They just want you to let it go. They know what they're getting ready to do, if they already haven't done it yet. But they're lining it up. They're definitely lining it up. And at the end of the day, they're going to tell you again, man, you're just crazy. You're crazy. You're the crazy one. They're going to beat that into the ground. Because the last thing, again, people, that the narcissist wants, they do not want to be exposed for how dirty they are. But at the end of it, the truth always comes out anyway. It always comes out. In the end, you find out that they were dealing with this friend, this family member, and a whole lot of other stuff that you had no clue that was going on the whole time. And it's another thing, people. While we're talking about that, your friends and family that know the narc, they know how cruddy and dirty that narc is. Sometimes you're going to find yourself in a situation where everybody knows what's going on in your house except you. Everybody. You'll find yourself in a situation where everybody around you, all the friends of yours and of the friends of the narc, they know what the narc is doing to you. They know how dirty they're treating you. They know how much they're cheating on you, what they're stealing from you. They know. Then they're not going to tell you. They're not going to put the narc's business out there. They're not. But I'm telling you, the friends know. People know how dirty that narc is doing you. And they're not saying it. And honestly, sometimes they don't say it because they feel like, okay, if I told you, you might not believe me. Or if I told you, you might not be friends with me no more. So, because some people do that. Because you're going to confront the narc, and then the narc is going to convince you that the other person is lying, which they're not. Really, people, a lot of people, don't get me wrong, there's some jealous people out there. I know that there's some very jealous people out there. But people, a lot of times when it comes to your relationships, most of the time, people are just trying to warn you and help you see this treacherous snake for what it is and not for what you think you're with. You know, and a lot of times we say we want to know, but we don't listen when people tell us that, hey man, this person you dealing with, they are the dirtiest of the dirty. Get away from them.
Leaving any relationship is difficult. Mm-hmm. Leaving a narcissistic relationship seems to be harder.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Why is it harder, and how do they leave?
Many times people leave narcissistic relationships from a place of frustration, exasperation, fear, confusion. These are not healthy states. I mean, ending a relationship is always difficult, but if it was a relationship with two healthy people in it, they may simply be able to acknowledge we grew apart and this hurts, and thank you for being a part of my life. And not saying nobody gets hurt. It can hurt, and it can hurt badly. But in a narcissistic relationship, by the time you get to the breakup point, there have been lies, deceit, anger, rage, all kinds of negative situations. It's confusing. Now, a couple of other things happen too. Many times when people leave narcissistic relationships, they've tried everything. They've tried to change the person, which obviously was never going to work. But they keep trying. I'm going to convince them. I'm going to show them the error of their ways. But one of the big fears that keeps people in narcissistic relationships and makes it hard to leave is this idea that the minute they leave the relationship, the narcissist is going to change and be a better person for the next person they date. I hear that all the time. He's going to change, and now he's going to be really great to this next person. I said, why would that happen? They're going to go through exactly what you went through. If anything, you should send them a condolence card now.
Right.
But
well, and even
convinced.
if they did change for somebody else, they're not changing for you, so who cares?
And they're not going to change.
And
I mean, it's even
I know
more
that,
absolute,
right,
but they're not changing for you.
Right.
And so, and many times narcissists trade into a new relationship very quickly because relationships are so superficial for them. For the rest of us, leaving a relationship that meant something to us, or even that was just confusing, our roots went deep. So it takes a while before you can reconstitute and enter a new relationship. Narcissists, boom. They've often replaced you by next Saturday night. They'll post it on social media. It's really, really destabilizing for people. So that means, though, that there's a word for it. When people are in narcissistic relationships that end, now all of a sudden the narcissist gets interested again, and now they want to go back to love bombing. So they do something called hoovering. Hoovering. And hoovering is when you suck someone back into a relationship. Baby, I miss you. I didn't realize how good I had it with you. Every time. You know, I really messed up. If I'd known what a gift and an angel you were, I'd be
Even
the
as you're
luckiest.
saying this, it sounds so good.
Oh yeah.
I
And
would
people are
love
like,
to be
it's
told that.
everything you ever wanted to hear. So you either have got nerves of steel, or most people fall back down the rabbit hole. And they say, okay, let's talk. And then for a while, the narcissist might even act different. They'll be it's love bombing part two.
Yeah, love bomb 2.0.
And so they go through that again, and boom, back to the discard. The cycle starts again. Now, if you do leave them, expect hoovering might happen. It doesn't always, but it might. Expect that you'll probably be traded out really quickly and replaced very quickly, which can hurt. If you leave them, you can also expect, if you're married to them, it's going to get really messy really fast. Messy custody, messy divorce, messy cutting up the assets. They may often do something called enlisting flying monkeys. Flying monkeys are the people who were close to both of you in the relationship, your family, your friends, and they'll start to try to turn all of them against you. Hey, just so you know, you think your sister's such a great gal, she did this, this, and this, and they'll tell them all these lies, and then now these people will start turning against the poor person who left the narcissist, and this flying monkeys phenomenon actually can often re-traumatize a person after they do the hard work of leaving a relationship. It works sometimes, it doesn't work all the time, but they might be able to sort of mobilize friends who were sort of on the fringes of the relationship, people who really know you. That's a bit harder. But it can also be dangerous. A narcissist does not like to be left.
So
It's
they
ego
are
for
going
them.
to fight
They're going to fight.
and almost, it sounds like, be revengeful.
Oh, very much. They're very vindictive. And so they just don't like that it looks bad for their ego to be left. They may have had a plan. They may have thought, you're taking my kids from me, all kinds of things, despite they had no interest in being a father or mother to them while you were in the relationship. But now that you're saying this isn't healthy anymore, they don't want to hear about it. If you do go into couples therapy, they often hijack the couples therapy. They often try to charm or win over the therapist, making the person who's enduring the abuse look like a crazy person, literally like a crazy person.
And they do so successfully with the
very
therapist.
much so, all the time. All the time.
therapist even gets sucked into
all
it.
the time. And so a lot of people are afraid to enter couples therapy with a narcissistic partner unless they've got a therapist who's really well trained in these issues. And so they hijack the systems. And so at this point, people, when they finally do leave narcissistic relationships, they have been thinking about this for months, if not years. It is a very slow process of trying to extricate from these relationships. So it's going to be messy, it's going to be painful, no matter what, whether they replace you quickly, whether they don't, whether they make it a messy and painful divorce, or whether they really threaten to stalk a person. That's not unusual. They'll stalk them, they'll bother them through social media. Sometimes people have to block them, which is hard if you've got kids. A lot of times the courts, judges, mediators, custody evaluators, lawyers don't get this. They're like, come on, why can't you come to the table? And I'm like, oh my God, they can't come to the table. This isn't going to work. So we've got a ways to go to educate people. Now, on the flip side, if your narcissist leaves you, of course, my temptation is to throw you a parade and say, you are lucky.
You did it.
But
Yeah.
that's not how people feel. They feel abandoned. They feel like, I've done everything and this person has the nerve to leave me.
Is it likely that a narcissist would leave someone?
Heck yeah, they
It
replace
is.
people all the time. They trade
Yeah.
partners. They want someone younger.
They trade up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they trade up. I would say they trade down because the person they've left is probably usually a solid, loving
right.
person.
Yeah.
But they'll choose someone younger, someone richer, someone they met at work, and they will think nothing of just switching out like that. And so people will feel very hurt. A narcissist typically will not leave a relationship unless they've got someone already waiting in the wings. That would be too much of an ego blow for them. So that under those conditions, they may very well leave. But most commonly, narcissists like to have their cake and eat it too. If they're married, they're going to try to have the affair on the side and make it all work, and be so surprised when they are told, oh, you can't have both. So sometimes these things can sort of blow up in their faces. But it is messy.
take, you know, anything. Narcissists want you to feel like you're alone and don't have anybody to talk to. So use discretion, protect your peace, and do what you need to do.
And if you don't know, now you know. And if you don't know, now you know.